This was locker room talk.
Hey, that's that locker room talk right there.
This was locker room talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the live edition of Don't Call It Locker Room Talk with your boy Walls P and my lovely co-host. You gonna introduce yourself, brother?
Oh, I was the lovely
Yes, the lovely June.
How y'all doing?
This a bromance going on right here. You feel me?
Yes, sir. What's good with you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Coming off a nice weekend, chilling. You know, had to work. I don't like working weekends, but got to do what we got to do to pay the bills. You feel me?
I like
the
that.
good thing is, at least though, I like my job. So the fact that I like it, it kind of make it a little easier. But yeah, I'm not a fan of working on weekends, man. Not a fan. How was yours, brother?
Oh, my weekend was great. Got to spend it with family. Got to do a little work, but it was really family time, and I loved it. But sports was popping this weekend too, so it was a great weekend for sports.
Facts. It definitely was, man. So, hey, that's what we here for, man. You're going to hear our talk. We want to hear your talk. But at the end of the day, don't call it locker room talk. So, June, get us started, brother. Let's get started with this weekend pack full of sports, news, trade, the whole nine. Let's get into it.
Yeah. We got to start with the Cowboys versus Eagles. What a thrilling game. I feel like football is better when the Cowboys are doing good. I don't know how you feel about that. It is, right?
It is. I got to throw my Giants in there too. It is more exciting what my Giants is doing, all right, but that's neither here or there.
That was a bad game, though. The Giants, that was a tough game. But we're not even going to talk about it. We're going to leave it alone.
I know.
But the Cowboys and Eagles had my heart pounding, almost exploding.
Yes. This is one game that I can't put the blame on Dak. He did his thing. He actually balled.
Mm-hmm.
The defense is what let him down. But I can't be mad at the defense too much because the Eagles do have a well-balanced offense. So pretty much like those last couple of plays that Dak Prescott did, like running out of bounds, underthrowing the receiver, those little hiccups there, I feel is what cost them the game. But all in all, like, I gotta tip my hat. It wasn't a game that they lost because of stupidity or because you expected Dak Prescott to make a mistake. No, it was a hard-fought game, and just so happened the Eagles won. The ending kind of remind me of that Rams. Was it the Rams versus the Tennessee Titans Super Bowl when McNair threw the pass to the dude at the 1 yard line and they stopped them? That's the vibe that it kind of gave me, you know. So it was a good game, and I think the next time they play, which will be in Dallas, I think it might be a different outcome. I think Dallas may pull that off because it's hard to win two division, like, back-to-back games against a division rival, especially if both of the teams are good. Dallas, I'm not going to front. They are a good team, even though I'm not a fan, but I still don't see them winning the Super Bowl. Is it possible? Yes, but I don't see them winning it because, let's face it, man, when it comes to the playoff time, they are accident waiting to happen, unfortunately.
Always.
Yeah. What was your thoughts on the game, man?
Before I say my thought, who were you rooting for? Who were you rooting for yesterday?
I just wanted to see a good game, to be honest. I just wanted to see a good game because it's not like my Giants had like a fight in it. It's like, oh, if they win, it's better for my Giants. Nah, they're out of it. So I just wanted to see a good game. At the end of the day, though, I don't want Dallas to win it all because of their fans, of course. That's my only hate against the Cowboys. It's not the team, so to speak. It's those freaking fans.
Yes, and that's the reason I wanted Cowboys to lose. And I was happy, though, because it took, you know how they say Dak Prescott, they don't trust him and blah, blah, blah. I think that's wrong because they were 3 for 5 on 4th downs, which lets you know they trusted him enough to let him go for 4th downs. And he was doing his thing. He was doing his thing, and I was actually happy for him. Like, I was like, all right, Dak, but I did not want them to win. And my heart was like exploding. I'm like, oh my God, the Eagles are gonna lose. And I spent a few years in South Jersey, so I seen the Eagle love, and I'm like, okay, it kind of get into you. And I'm like, nah, I want Jalen Hurts to do his thing. So I still kind of wanted the Cowboys to do well also. So it was kind of hard, but time of possession was essentially the same. It was just like 30 seconds different. And it was like, yo, Cowboys had 36 more seconds. Believe it or not, I think they would have been more poised. I don't know if McCarthy would have called any better plays, but I think I feel like they would have probably won it, to be honest with you. Like, Pollard's not really doing anything though, but
that is true.
I feel like they would have used them a little bit better and things would have happened better.
Like, the reality of the situation is they were a couple of penalties and like 4 false starts away from winning the game. Yeah. So even though they Dak, ran out of bounds, it still took a lot for them to lose the game. So that's why I think the second go round, I think Dallas will pull it off. And I just want to say, man, I know people be getting on Dak, but Dak is a good quarterback. I'm not gonna front. I'll take him on the Giants. Like,
what makes him good though to you?
To me, he's mobile enough. He has the arm. I believe he has the accuracy. And like, I know people don't think he's a good leader, but I think he is, man. For him to have had worked with Dez, now Lamb, all these other receivers, and they all like will go to war for him. You got Michael Parsons batting for him. So he got to be doing something, to show them that he's a leader, for these people to actually be rallying behind him like that. And I know it could be, hey, he's just a teammate or the quarterback, so we gotta, but we seen players not say the nicest things about QB, like their QBs that they don't have faith in. Just look at what's the dude on the Jets name? The quarterback for the Jets. I forgot his name too.
Wilson?
Yeah, Zach Wilson. Yeah. Look how they just like straight up like, yo, have no faith in dude. Now they're coming along, but players don't care to voice their opinions if they don't agree or they're not behind, their quarterback. But he's doing this thing, man, and they got his full, like, he has their full support.
See, I think you have to be consistent to be a good quarterback. He's not consistent enough. When he plays teams that aren't that good or like divisional games, he's okay. Like he's not just okay, he's spectacular. But when he plays like powerhouses like San Fran, he don't show up. So that's the only reason it's hard for me to vouch for him, because it's like, Dad, why don't you show up all the time? Even though I don't want the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl because of the fans, but I want them to be nice. Like, I love when the Cowboys are nice just because it just seemed exciting. And Giants used to be good all the time, so it used to be that rivalry, but I don't know. He needs to be more consistent. If he's more consistent, I think maybe he is still top 10, even if he is consistent as he should be. But see, you know what?
There's the only thing I'll say. With his line not able to protect him as much, and he doesn't have the wheels as he used to in his earlier career, it does make it harder. So when you're under rest, you will throw, some jacked up passes. Not everybody is a freaking
a GOAT, Tom.
No, not Tom Brady. Tom Brady never throw in motion. Not everybody's an Aaron Rodgers, know. Yeah.
Oh, but Tom Brady was mobile inside the pocket. Like he
had fast feet. Yeah, he had fast feet, But yeah, man. But he still can put up numbers on you any given day.
That's a fact.
He still could. Yeah.
Unless you're a great team, though. But that's a fact.
Yeah. if you got a strong defensive line, yeah. Definitely.
That's all for them Cowboys. We're gonna jump to KC and Miami. Which team won the trade? That's the question that made the game exciting to me. You know what I mean? That's what made it like, okay, I want to see if Tyreek Hill's going to do his thing. Kelsey only had 4 targets, and Mahomes didn't even get 200 yards. I want to know, what did you see? What did you like? Like, tell me about that game. How did you feel watching it?
Although Miami has a bad record when it comes to teams above 500, they're still an explosive offense.
Scary.
The winner of the trade, I still have to give it to Miami. On the strength of they don't have a quarterback that is as good as Mahomes, but yet they're still doing their thing. Mahomes is an outlier where he's kind of like a Brady, where he can cover up your weaknesses alone. Just him with his, with his arm. But as far as a team as a whole, Miami won it. They got so many weapons, yo. So many weapons. And just think if Mahomes was on Miami, how dangerous that squad would be, the speed that they have. And even though they don't have a Mahomes, they're still dangerous. And even though they're not doing good against, teams above 500, they're still going to be scary when the playoff time come. They are still going to be a scare. Think about it. It took a miracle fumble recovery that Edwards picked up and then lateraled it to Brian Cooks for the touchdown. It took that, because if that didn't happen, we'd be going into, like, it would be 14-14, so to speak, and who knows what would have happened there at that point. So Miami, like, I know we're saying if, woulda, coulda, but that lets you know how dangerous of a team Miami is, because they had a comfortable lead on Miami, and Miami almost came back. So the Chiefs won the game, but I definitely think Miami won the war as far as like them getting Tyreek Hill, because when you look at the receiving core of KC now, yeah, they wish they had Mahomes, because as you see, all they got to do is lock down Kelsey. Huh? No, what I'm saying is all they got to do is lock down Kelsey, and Mahomes basically got his arms tied behind his back because his receivers can't get open. Miami don't have that issue. They just need Tua to have a decent game.
Yeah, but they still got that dub though.
Yeah, they did get that's why I said they won the battle, but I think Miami won the war, because even though KC got that dub, do we see KC beating the Bengals?
I could see that.
You could see them beating the Bengals.
I could see them winning the Super Bowl. That defense is top notch.
Yeah, the defense is top notch, but if the receivers can't get open, Pat Mahomes is running for his life.
And they still won, though. That's what I'm trying to say. The defense.
Yeah, they still won, yes, but they better pray nothing happened to Pat Mahomes with him running in the backfield trying to stall time for receivers to get open. That's a dangerous game, man. That's a dangerous game to play.
Yeah, but they played an explosive team. Like, Miami's no joke. And that's who they played. The other teams not really going to give them that problem. I don't think so. I don't believe that. Like, Burrow's going to have issues going against that defense. He's going to have his hands tied. He's going to have his hands tied.
I don't know, man. I don't know, because Burrow, other than last year, freaking Burrow pretty much owned the Chiefs, man. And you look at the receiving core of the Bengals and the receiving core of Miami. What makes the difference between the two? The quarterback. The quarterback play makes a big difference.
Tua nice though. It sounds like you down Tua.
Tua is nice, but he's not comparable to freaking
Why not?
Why not?
I just want to know why not. I'm saying Tyreek Hill's breaking records this year. He's breaking all records. He may get 2,000 receiving yards. He didn't get that with Mahomes. So if he didn't get it with Mahomes and he's getting it with Tua, how we sleeping on Tua? How? He's like one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league.
If Joe Burrow had Tyreek on his team, Tyreek numbers would be higher than they are now. And that's hard to imagine.
But he has Jamar. I'm saying he has a nice Joe Burrow have a nice squad though. So it's not like they
do have a nice squad. Look at the numbers when Joe Burrow got on point. Look at the numbers with his receiver, with Chase, what he put up. Then he have like 4 TDs or some shenanigan like that in the game. It was up there. It was like astronomical numbers that he had put up once Joe Burrow got healthy.
I mean, nowadays.
Now imagine replace Chase with Tyreek Hill. I think those numbers would have been even more astronomical because Tyreek Hill is like unguardable. The man is literally unguardable, man. But I don't know, man. I say,
well, he didn't do that. He didn't do that nice. He didn't do that nice last night.
Who?
Tyreek. Tyreek did the same thing he did with Patrick Mahomes. He ended up fumbling it. Patrick used to get some interceptions because of Tyreek Hill, to be honest. What he would do is he'd try to catch it and bobble it up, and then they'd pick it off, and then they start running. And Tyreek, he did a knucklehead move again. Like he does that punt return. Like he still got the punt returner in him, where it's like, yo, just secure the ball. Stop trying to overthink everything and just secure the ball. Like you keep turning it over. He kept doing that with Patrick Mahomes, and he's getting Skip Bayless to talk trash about Pat Mahomes. And I used to hate that. I'm like, yo, he don't see that it was Tyreek that just did that. So Tyreek, yo, put it this way. Why don't CJ Stroud, why don't he get Tyreek Hill? He threw like what 400 something yards last night, 5 touchdowns. So it's like what he would have had 10 touchdowns if he had Tyreek Hill. Is that what we're saying?
I mean, we can't deny that you could literally throw Tyreek Hill
anywhere
a screen, and he's gonna take it to the house. We cannot deny that this guy is an explosive behind weapon.
He is.
But like don't get me wrong, Tua is a nice QB. But I believe Joe Burrow would have got the ball to Tyreek in a better position so that Tyreek, I think he would have led the receiver more accurately than Tua could ever do, which would then turn around and put Tyreek in better positions to get those explosive plays.
Hey Walls, since you on this, since you want to stay there, let me ask you. We're gonna go to the Bengals and the Bills game, since that's what you sound like you love it. It's a 2-part question. Now that Burrow's calf is healed, do you believe the Bengals will return to the Super Bowl this year? And second question, should we stop thinking Josh Allen is a formidable quarterback?
The way things is going, I do think Bengals have the best chance of getting to the Super Bowl.
Ooh.
I do think they have the best chance of getting to the Super Bowl because I don't like what I'm seeing from Kansas City's offense. I do not like the defense is stout, but it's like if you lock down if you double team Kelsey or lock down focus on Kelsey, it makes Mahomes' job that much harder. We saw the matchup that they had against the Bills. Josh Allen, he's a good quarterback.
Good, all right,
but yeah, he's a good quarterback.
Then you're saying he's on Dak Prescott's level then, because you said he's good also. You think Josh Allen and Dak Prescott on the same level?
Of course, I'd give it to Josh Allen, but
over Dak.
again, over Dak, yeah. But the thing is, you would pick Dak over Josh Allen?
Yes, I'm gonna let you talk, though. I'm gonna let you talk.
Okay. I would pick Josh Allen over Dak because at least Josh Allen almost made it to the Super Bowl. At least he made it to the conference, the conference what is the conference finals? No, that's NBA. You would say conference finals. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. At least he made it to the NFC, no, the AFC title game. So that's something that Dak Prescott never even sniffed at. The man played less years than Dak Prescott and won more, like triple the amount of playoff games that Dak Prescott ever won.
He also didn't have. He also wasn't in negotiation with his owner. He also didn't get injured where he got that gruesome injury. So he didn't have the same things that Dak Prescott had to stop him, to be honest. And he didn't lose his number one receiver, Amari Cooper, like Dak Prescott did. He didn't lose his running back who was pounding, and then you throw Pollard in there and let him run loose. He didn't lose anything like that.
But what about the years that he had the Des Bryants of the world and the Jason Wittens of the world? All of those weapons that he had. Jason Witten still was a consistent receiver. As old as he was, everybody was like, yo, how does this guy get open? So you're saying that Jason Witten didn't get open as old as he was?
I'm saying he wasn't that. He was a waste of. He was taking up space. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he wasn't getting open. He was taking up space. You're open for 4 yards, but big whoop.
Ask any Cowboys fan
about I don't trust what Cowboys fans say.
Yeah, why not?
Because they blame the refs for everything. They blame the refs for everything. Des caught the ball, even though the rules said he was supposed to hold it the whole time. Cowboys fans are delusional. So I can't even ask them that question. So there's no way.
You may be delusional, but if that's the case, they would not hold Jason Witten in a high standard. They would be like, oh, this new tight end that we have, we don't need Jason Witten. No, they're clamoring for Jason Witten. They want Jason Witten back because they haven't found a replacement in the tight end position to replace Jason Witten. He's been the most consistent tight end that for the longest for them.
Because he's familiar. That's why they love him. That's it.
All I know is Jason Witten would get open and score touchdowns. That's all I know.
You added touchdowns to it. So Jason
Witten would score touchdowns.
How many touchdowns was he getting? Like, he wasn't getting a lot when Dak Prescott was there. Like, he wasn't doing much. He wasn't doing much when Dak was there. With Tony Romo, he was. He was the man with Tony Romo. That I'm not even gonna lie. He was the man with Tony Romo. But with Dak Prescott, nah. Absolutely not.
Okay, so that speaks of Dak Prescott if Tony Romo was able to utilize him, and now we're gonna say that Dak Prescott is above Allen. Yes. There's no way, because I guarantee you Allen would have been able to utilize him.
I disagree. I kindly disagree.
Okay.
I can't see it. Josh Allen's the reason they be losing games. This guy, like, put it this way, the season Dak had last year, that's Josh Allen's regular seasons where he's always throwing picks. It's like, what are you doing? Are you Brett Favre? Like, don't you understand the guy standing right in front of you and you're going to sit there, you're going to throw it right to him? Like, why are you doing that? That's Josh Allen, as if he's not thinking. He's better when he's just running. Like, when he's running, that's when he's the man. That boy's big and he will run you over. But when he's throwing the balls, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? That's why how they call him? Diggs be getting mad at him. It's like, yo, bro, throw me the ball. Like, stop throwing it all over this place. So that's Josh Allen for you. He got a cannon, but he's just not consistent.
This you sound real good. You sound real good with your argument, but we're about to bust your pop your bubble right now.
Come on,
Jason Witten had 195 catches for 1,700 yards and scored 12 touchdowns in 48 games with Dak Prescott in his career.
You said in 48 games.
Yes, with Dak Prescott in his career.
Do you know how many seasons that is? And he only had 100 something catches,
12 touchdowns.
But did you hear how many games you said? You said 48. At that point, there was 16 games per year. So 40, that's almost like what? Almost 3-4 years. And he only got 100 something receptions. Come on, that's telling you he was not a factor. That's what it tells you. 12. So you divide that by like 4. He was getting 4 touchdowns a year, and he wasn't a waste of space on that team.
Absolutely
4 touchdowns
not
per year. That's 4 games. He's getting 1 touchdown per 4 games. Come on. 4 touchdowns. I mean, 1 touchdown per 4 games. That's not good. I'm telling you, he was not that good. He was great with Tony Romo. He like when T.O. was there, Jason Witten was nice. But when T.O. left and all of that, it was over. That's why Tony Romo never won a ring. I ain't gonna say that.
There's no way. There's no way. Like I said, man, other than Des Bryant, Jason Witten, when it came to clutch moments that they needed a touchdown, Jason Witten was the man that they went to.
I guess they needed one every 4 games. They needed a touchdown every 4 games, and he was there. He was like,
But here's the thing. All those years when Romo would get injured, and they're like, "Dag, Romo get injured." That's what's stopping the Cowboys from going to the next level. And then when they landed Dak, which they said, "Yo, this is the guy that can take us to the next level with their squad." That didn't happen.
I mean,
Dallas was always a team.
Further,
Dallas was always a team. They had the receivers, they had the running back in his prime, they had the defense also. They had everything.
But they went further with Dak. They won. They actually won a playoff game with Dak.
Yes, one playoff game.
But they won it. They wasn't winning anything with Romo, though. That's what I want you to know. They wasn't winning anything with Romo.
He won the same. He basically won about the same amount of playoff games as Tony Romo did.
And Romo played like triple the years that he played. So that's not impressive for Romo.
And even right now, he won only probably one more game over Romo after all these years.
And he still didn't play as long as Romo. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So he still already eclipsed him, and he didn't even play as many games.
All right. Well, with that being said, Allen didn't play as many games as him.
And he probably threw more interceptions already.
Allen is killing it. Allen made it further. Allen almost made it to the Super Bowl. As compared to Dak, heck yeah. Where was Buffalo before Allen got there? They was in the slums, in the basement. Nobody was thinking about Buffalo till Allen got there.
I'll say till Von Miller got there. I'll say till Von Miller got there. I won't say till Allen.
Once Allen got there and they got the quarterback they needed, that's when they started making moves and making it to the playoffs. Now, if you want to say Von Miller pushed them over the edge till they was consistent playoff contenders, yes. But when Allen got there, that's where the changes started for Buffalo.
So you really believe Allen's nice like that? We even had a poll. We even have a poll up.
I'm not saying Allen is nice like that, but he's better than Dak Prescott.
Oh, Loudy.
He's better than Dak Dak?
Yes, Dak attack.
Dak Prescott. Man.
Yes.
The accident waiting to happen.
That's Josh Allen. Are we kidding?
That's Josh Allen, but at least Josh Allen, have the ability to take you to the promised land. At least he sniffed it.
Put it this way.
He sniffed it at least.
Look, the poll we have, Josh Allen has 4%. Out of Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes, he has 4% because he's Josh Allen.
Yeah, but that's look who you got him against. I never said he was better than Joe Burrow or Mahomes.
I get it, but I'm saying he only has 4%.
Put Dak Prescott in that poll. He won't get knocked 2%.
We gonna do that. We finna do that. We gonna do that.
Your man won't get 2%.
We
Dak
gonna
Prescott.
do that. Yes.
Dak.
You telling me
Dak
he's
Prescott.
better than Dak? Come on.
Yes.
I thought you was joking. You're serious.
I'm dead serious. Dak, this guy missed mad games last year and led the NFL in freaking INTs.
Yes,
if I'm not
got
too
his
sure.
Bone ripped out of place. Like that will mess with you. No, it won't do that. You telling me if somebody that I know it would do that to anybody.
Really?
That wouldn't affect the player? You're telling me it wouldn't affect?
He had that injury years ago.
No,
that wasn't recent.
I'm talking about
wasn't last year.
His leg injury. That was like what 2 years ago, and then he came back and but then he came back the next year and he didn't do well. But he never had interception issues like that. He was playing like Josh Allen. That was his first year playing like Josh Allen. Why they got he was the highest paid quarterback. Not only was it his time up, but he was worth it. They couldn't let him go. So he was the highest paid quarterback. Josh Allen's not going to be the highest paid quarterback. You could believe that. He's not going to make that bread.
By your logic, Brett Favre sucks.
I don't think he sucked.
Peyton Manning in his early career sucked because he threw
mad
INTs.
And his rookie year,
mad INTs. But what I'm saying is that is not a
barometer,
a deal breaker, so to speak. That's not a deal breaker, so to speak.
If you're a quarterback and you're throwing interceptions, that should be a deal breaker. It's like if you're woman, if you're my wife and you're sitting here cheating, that should be a deal breaker. Like you're giving it up to the other team. So
yes, I understand that, but Dak Prescott and Allen are basically in the same wheelhouse when it comes to INTs.
No, Dak only did that last year after his injury.
No, he did not.
Yo, are you? Hey, yo, that's hilarious to me right now.
Okay, let's see.
Dak
Prescott has gotten intercepted 70 times in his career.
And how long he played?
I'm not too sure how long he's played.
After you get this, we're going to have to move on, though.
Let me see. How many years Dak Prescott been in the NFL? 8 seasons. Yeah, he's been in there 8 seasons.
So that's less than 10 interceptions per year.
It is, but his track record is showing different now that he's interception prone.
No, he's not interception. Yo,
why isn't he interception prone?
Because that was only he averaged less than 10 interceptions per year, and last year was the year he led the league. So if last year, which is just an anomaly, if that didn't happen, he wouldn't have even been averaging 10 a year. It would have been way less. It was just the year after his injury. Of course, I'm scared to run. I can't run because my leg, I'm scared I may get hurt. I'm throwing the ball before somebody come at me. That's why he was doing that. I'm telling you, once you get that type of injury, a freak accident where the bone snaps, come on, you're scared when somebody's coming at you throwing the ball.
So let's look at this. 2016, he had 4 interceptions. 2017, 13 interceptions. 2018, 8 interceptions. 2019, 11 interceptions. 2020, 4 interceptions. 2021, 10 interceptions. 2022, 15 interceptions. This year, 5 interceptions. To me, that's interception prone.
No, but those aren't high interceptions. The 15 may have been that was the high one where he led the league. But
you
the
had
others
13,
aren't high.
you had 13, 11, 10, 15. And
yes, and how many touchdowns did he have?
The other one that was getting close to 10 was 8. For the 15 interceptions, he had 23. For the 10 interceptions, he had 37. For the 11 interceptions, he had 30. For the 8 interceptions, he had 22. For the 13 interceptions, he had 22. His best year was his first year, which was 23 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Other than that, 22 and his other decent year was the 37-10. Other than that, he had a high percentage of interceptions.
Average less than 10 interceptions per year. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You told me 70 out of 8 years.
Well, this is his 8th year. We don't know what he's going to do for the rest of this year.
Let's say 70 out of 7 years. That's still 10 interceptions per year. So regardless, it's same difference.
Yeah.
Do we want to check your boy out, Josh Allen, who had 3 interceptions?
Yeah, we could check him out.
Jets, who already have 9 regular season interceptions already. He for every 2 touchdowns he throw an interception. Come on. Like that's come on, man.
Okay. So his first year, he had 10 TDs, 12 interceptions. His second year, 20 TDs, 9 interceptions. His third year, which was 2020, 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. 2021, 36 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. 2022, 35 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. And this year, he's at 18 TDs and 9 interceptions.
Already. So he's going to average like 15 interceptions per year. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what he does.
But he's also going to average about 30 touchdowns per year too.
Yes, but listen, this year he threw 18 touchdowns and he have 9 interceptions. For every 2 touchdowns, you throw a pick. That's not helping our team. Yes, you threw 2 touchdowns, but you gave the other team the ball too. And it's
that's no different than what Dak is doing.
No, that is different.
23 touchdowns and 15 interceptions.
Yes, but you're picking 1 year. I'm telling you, just average.
No. Yes, you're looking at the average. But my thing is, Josh Allen's ceiling for how many touchdowns you're gonna get a season, his ceiling is higher than Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, you're going to get about 20 to 25 touchdown passes to about 10 to 15 interceptions. Whereas with Josh Allen, you're going to get 30 to 37 touchdown passes to 10 to 15 interceptions.
No, not 10 to 15, 15 to like 18. He's whatever touchdowns he throw, he's going to give you half interceptions. So that's not a good look. That's
the highest interceptions he ever had was 15. So it's not 15 to 18.
It's 15, but his touchdowns went down. His touchdowns didn't stay at 37. So you can't just think.
Yes, they did. 37 and 10, 36 and 15, 35, 14.
Then it didn't stay at 37. That's what I'm telling you.
Yes, but what I'm saying is you're still going to get about 35 touchdowns to 10 to 15 interceptions. At the end of the day, that's still a higher ceiling of touchdowns. So basically, the pros outweigh the cons more with him than it does with Dak.
No,
okay, we agree to disagree.
No, but
you can't.
The stats don't say what you're saying, though. That's what I'm saying. So it's not agree to disagree. That's not what the stats are saying. If you're throwing the ball like half of the times you're getting interceptions, that's not good.
But that is not half the time. I literally just read the numbers to you.
You didn't average them out.
How is half the time? Okay.
I'm saying this year he has 18 touchdowns and he has 9 interceptions. And it just started.
But you're going to 1 year. What about the other years, though?
I'm going for the current year. I'm going for the current year where you're saying he's better than Dak. This current year, he's had 18 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Where's Dak at?
Okay.
Where's Dak at? Do you know that for this year? Because I really don't know. It could be worse.
13 interceptions and 5. He's at 13 touchdowns and 5 interceptions.
Okay. So do you hear that? That's a difference. You threw 5 interceptions. It don't matter about all the touchdowns. He also have running back like that can do things. I don't know. I wouldn't want Josh Allen on my team. To be real.
My thing is when it comes to the times that you throw the interceptions,
that's when Josh Allen does that.
Dak Prescott, most games that were lost this year with the Cowboys was they had a chance to drive or whatever the case may be, and Dak Prescott either fumbled or threw an interception, which cost them the game.
Yo, Walls, you wilding right now.
I'm not wilding. I'm not wilding.
All right, we're gonna have to move on though, but that
we agree to disagree.
All right, yeah, we'll do that. We'll stay with football though. What do you know about Colorado football's controversy?
From what I've read with the Colorado controversy, it seems as if the offensive coordinator, Sean Lewis, it's a mixed baggage, because it seems as if he wasn't happy that he wasn't getting no kind of accolades for what Colorado was doing earlier in the season. So it seems like he was targeting Shador to kind of like either alienate him from the team, or he wanted to incorporate more running into the offense, which would take away some of the attention from Shador. But I got to look at it from two folds though, because Coach Prime in the beginning of the season was saying, "Yo, our lineup of running backs are stacked. We're going to be a good running team, yada yada." So they've been pushing more passing than running, which some could say that formula might have been working earlier in the season, so to speak, but it hasn't been lately. And it seemed like Sean Lewis was trying to incorporate some running in there, and Coach Prime didn't like that. So one can look at it as Sean Lewis was trying to incorporate running more into the offense, while others can look at it as, yo, Shador is the man of the team and the offense got to run through him, and the running hasn't been working. So it's kind of a mixed bag, and I don't have like a concise answer, but we know Coach Prime is going to protect his son by any means or whatever, if he feel like there's some wrongdoings. I can see that as a pro and a con as well, but that's another story for another day. If you want me to get into it as we speak more and more into it, I'll get into it. But at the end of the day, right now, Coach Prime brought Pat Shurmur in to be the new offensive coordinator, and he demoted Sean Lewis from his duties as offensive coordinator. So it's a mixed baggage. I'm still trying to get the in-depth detail or try and get the exact reason of what's going on. But that's what's circulating, what's going on right now in Colorado.
See, I watched the games Saturday, and that game, man, it was hard to watch. Colorado, they just all that hype, watching it, all that hype seemed like it was for nothing. It just seemed
was
like
that Pat Shurmur? Pat Shurmur was running the offense for that game?
He was. Okay. And the thing was, after that game, Dion was being interviewed, and they kept asking him about that. What they were trying to insinuate was, all right, Lewis isn't here, so how come y'all still look terrible? Like, why did y'all look like that? And Coach Prime was trying to brush off the questions, and he didn't like the questions. I could tell he didn't. Yeah. But what he was saying was, we're still sticking to the same strategy. It's just it wasn't all on Sean Lewis. He actually came out and said it's not all on him. He's like, it wasn't that he was a problem. It's just I didn't like what I was seeing, and I wanted something different. That's what he was saying. I'm not in the locker room. I'm not in his brain, so I don't really know.
Yeah.
But it did seem like he was giving Sean Lewis respect, and they were trying to make him throw salt on Sean Lewis, like just talk trash. Yeah. And he wasn't with it. They was even trying to get Shador to talk trash. Okay. Shador was like he's like, no, I'm not doing that. Like he's like, I see what y'all doing. I'm not doing that. Yeah. So, but the game was hard to watch. The quarterback for the Beavers, Oregon State, they looked amazing. Like he looked amazing. He looked like he was pro ready. He would just take off, but he would keep his head up and he would just boom, dart it right to the man. And I'm like, who is this guy? Like, this guy is nice. So Shador did say he was the best on the field. He said he was the best man on that field, and he know it. And it was like, I would love that to be true. It looked like your line wasn't protecting you because as soon as he hiked the ball, it seemed like he had to run for his life on every. So it was hard to really judge who he was, how he was, because it's like, dag, as soon as it was like when Brady went against the Giants in that Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl, it was like Brady had no time. It was like hike, and it was like, oh my God, they're coming to kill me. OC's here, and how do you call him? Oh boy, forgot old boy's name. They was just like hounding him. And that's what it seemed like. Even when my team, the Denver, when we went against, who did we go against? Cam Newton. When we was that's what it looked like. It looked like he was just under the rest the whole time. To the point, after the game, he's just walking off limping, and I'm like, I don't like seeing that because sometimes it make me question: are you just trying to like give me an excuse, or are you really that hurt? Because I know during halftime he has to get injections. That's what his pops were saying, and it's like, dang. Like, he's just getting pounded. They got to get rid of that old line because that was hard to watch. And
well, he said he's about 5 or 6 dogs away from actually making some noise or whatever, because they definitely need a new old line. But I didn't see the game Saturday, but the games that I did watch, the offense looked pretty darn good. So for you to say it looked unimpressive,
terrible,
that's a problem.
First half, though.
That's a problem because, like I said, watching the Colorado games, man, like they were able to put up some points and everything like that. So for it to be terrible, like how you say, I don't know, man.
That was the first half.
And me personally, I'm not a fan of Pat Shurmur. Dude used to coach the Giants, and it was a disaster. So I don't really have faith in Pat Shurmur like that. So
who was his quarterback?
Who
was Pat Shurmur's quarterback?
Daniel Jones.
Okay. I'm saying,
don't get me wrong. Daniel Jones, I'm not sold on him either. Giants offensive line is not the greatest, but look at what Dable did with him last year, though. Dable came in and worked the miracle with him.
Got him a contract.
Exactly. So, but Pat Shurmur, I didn't see him do anything spectacular with the Giants whatsoever. So I never had faith in him. So that's why I'm like, when you said the whole offense thing, I'm like, I don't know. But like I said, I'm gonna stay on top of finding out all the intricacies of like what was the reason. Who knows? Maybe they won't say anything because you said after the game, they're like, yo, I see what you're trying to make us do, and nobody was trying to throw shade. But eventually, the truth will come out.
Oh, it has to.
Eventually the truth will come out. So we'll monitor this story and definitely update everybody on this story as it unfolds.
Look, one quick thought. The thing is, second half, Pat Shurmur must have did his thing because the second, like you figure the first half, they have the game plan, and it seemed like they wasn't executing it correctly. But the second half, that's when they started coming back. That's when they started doing their thing. They actually could have won that game. There was a little excuse made toward the end, but they could have won that game. So Pat Shurmur did his adjustments.
Okay. All right. That's a positive thing, though, if you make your adjustments. All right.
Now,
and let me say this too, though. Sometimes coaches are better in the college realm than the pros. Sometimes they do better. So, all right. Ready to switch gears.
Now on to NBA's in-season tournament. I knew nothing about it until you told me about it. Nothing about it. My squad, the Sacramento Kings, didn't play yet. So me not feeling any different watching it. I need your input. I need to know because your Knicks played the Bucks.
Yeah, the Bucks.
How did you feel watching it? Did it feel different? Like, did the energy feel inspiring to you? Like, how did it feel watching it?
Me personally, I can't tell if it was because of the Bucks or the play-in. Because Knicks tend to play hard when, for good teams. They planned, they stepped their game up. And I think for Jalen Brunson, it was a different atmosphere for him. Dude put up 45 points.
Yeah,
He put up 45. He was balling. It was Randall who couldn't buy a bucket, man. Like this guy, like he couldn't buy a bucket for nothing. But the atmosphere, like the crowd, it did. I'll say this: it did feel like a playoff game. It did feel
Nice.
like a playoff game. The way the energy was going, Dame Lillard doing his thing with Dame time, hitting some clutch shots and everything like that. The atmosphere was, put it like this: I think between Jalen Brunson and Dame Dollar, between the two of them, they felt like it was different because they was going blow for blow, toe to toe. So I got a playoff atmosphere from it. But again, I can't tell if it was because they were playing the Bucks or not. Because everybody right now is looking at the Bucks since they got Dame Dollar. They're like, "Yo, we coming for you." You know, like they're gonna play their best to prove or make a statement against them. You know, so yeah, it's a mixed baggage, man. It's a mixed baggage, but if I had to pick one, I would say yes. The atmosphere definitely felt different. It definitely felt different. I'll say that.
Well, let me just say this. I don't believe this Tuesday, but the games will be on Fridays and Tuesdays. Just in
Yes,
case
this
anybody
Tuesday.
want to know.
This Tuesday. There's no games. This
There's no
Tuesday.
okay.
Yeah, there's
So
no games coming up.
so next Friday and then
Yeah,
Tuesdays, Fridays.
Tuesday and
Okay.
Friday. Yeah, yeah. Which is smart because they're doing it on the nights that there's no football. You know,
They
so
yeah,
they could have did it Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. To be honest,
they
you
could
know.
have.
Yeah, they could have did that to monopolize those days that there's no football or whatever. But I guess they figured with scheduling and everything like that, that's the best, you know. So, but we'll see going forward if it's actually a full different atmosphere for those playing games or whatever. So, look, 500K, that's nothing to sniff at.
Mm-hmm.
That's nothing to sniff at, you know. So, and I'm pretty sure the coaches want that bread. I think it incentivizes the coaches more because the players make, you know, way more money than the coaches do. So 500K to the players may not be as much, but to the coaches, that's a lot of bread. So
For the viewers who don't understand what he's saying, each player will make $500,000 for winning
yes,
the championship, and it will slightly decrease for the players who don't win. And the
yes,
coaches, they're going to enter into a pool where $500,000 get put in for the winners,
yep,
and that's like amazing. The fun
yeah,
fact, though, that people don't really pay attention to, that's 5 times more money than the WNBA players make per year.
yep,
Can you
yep,
imagine that?
yeah,
And that, you know what that takes us to our next topic. Should
yes.
women athletes get paid equal to men? What do you
Say
think?
that. You said should women athletes what?
Should
Get paid
women
equal to
athletes
men?
get paid equal to the men?
I'm sorry, but if the product is not making the money, then no, your salary is going to be based on the income that product is generating, unfortunately. And we just dropped a short about this, two different shorts about this. And what if you're talking the WNBA, at the end of the day, not a lot of people are watching it. Has it got a little bit more slight more has it gained more interest year by year? Yes, it has. But is it at that level of NBA status? Absolutely not. So as it gains more and more status and more people are tuning in and viewing it, then you know the salaries will come. But in all honesty, this falls on the women because if you're asking for the equal pay, then you have to support the product to get that equal pay. So you can
Mhm.
talk a good game and say XYZ, but if you're not putting your money where your mouth is, then it's all for naught. This is why I had bought tennis into the equation or whatever, because they have a system for the majors that everybody can eat. Now it's different, and the smaller tournaments, because they have men only tournaments and women only tournaments. And in those tournaments, there is a pay difference. Whereas the men's will make like 700,000 and the women will make 300,000 or 400,000. So there is a pay gap in that sense. And the only area that I see that there is equal pay or it's heading in that direction is soccer. But look at what soccer had to do. The women had to win gold medals, this, that, and the third, so they're the better product. They're the better product.
I heard they get paid more.
They get paid more.
A commenter said, yeah.
Okay, because from what I read, it was around equal pay, especially with who is it? Messi coming to the States to play.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a difference also. So, yeah. But that's the only sport that I saw, was the outlier, so to speak. But yeah, if it's not getting the ratings, man, how can you get equal pay? How can you? It's just not in the cards. It's not in the budget. And the NBA been bailing the WNBA out for like the longest.
You know what it's equivalent to?
What's that?
It's equivalent to us saying we be getting paid the same amount of money they're making on the big screens, or like a Mr. Beast or somebody with 10 million subscribers, and like we should be making the same amount, even though we're not pulling. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah.
That sounds ridiculous.
That's well said, yo. That's well said. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I believe there isn't their quarter shorter too?
What, the women basketball? What are you saying, basketball?
Yes, I believe it's 2 halves, right?
Truth be told, I do not watch the WNBA at all.
WNBA.
I may watch Sue Bird here and there, like highlights and a little bit of Brittany Griner, but even old girl, her name, she quit the WNBA to go get a man out of jail who was in there unlawfully. She was one of the faces of the WNBA and she gave it up. So that made me want to love the WNBA.
Got you. Okay. So right here, say there are 40 minutes in the WNBA game, which is made up of 4 10-minute quarters.
Okay, so it's 2 minutes less per quarter.
So 8 minutes. Those that may not sound a lot. That may not sound like a lot, but let me do 8 more minutes of sprinting on a treadmill and see.
No. But see, some of those basketball players want to play longer, to be honest.
Nah, they do. But after a while, like, I don't know, maybe after a while, like the course of the season, does it take
70 games? Yeah.
Yeah, does it take a toll on you? So who knows? And that's another question I want to know. How many games? Yeah.
I mean, how long the season?
Yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't be that long. It's a shame though. People really don't support them.
36 games.
36 games. So it's not even half.
The WNBA upped their schedule to 40 games, with all 12 teams getting 20 home games and 20 away games.
So they're almost half now, and they want equal. All right, I get. That's ridiculous.
This is my gripe. You can't get equal pay for half the workload.
I don't think they mean like that. I don't think they mean they want a $40 million contract for 40 games. I think they want something comparable per game. They're not crazy. Like, they're not crazy. I promise you, they're not crazy.
You really think? I don't want to make this a man versus woman thing, but you don't think women aren't looking at it as, I'm equal to you?
If you're playing less, I think they're smart enough to know if they're playing half the season, there's no way they're going to get the same amount of money. I would think they're smart enough to know that.
Dude, a woman can go into a marriage with a billionaire, be with them for less than a year, and say, "I deserve half."
I mean, that's a good point. That's a good point.
So I'm not gonna put it. I'm not gonna put it. You might be right. You might be right. But I'm not putting it past. I'm not putting it past them. You get what I'm saying?
I get
so
it.
We don't know.
Right. True. After you said that, I'm like, dang, they would. He's right. True. True indeed. So I can't say anything. Adesanya, you know, Israel Adesanya, the MMA fighter, his girlfriend, she wanted like half of his money.
Yes.
And it was like, what are you talking about?
Yes.
Like,
yes, that was just the girlfriend.
Yeah, like you want half of his bread?
Yeah.
You thinking punches to the face too? Like, really?
Yes. So
that's why, yeah, you may be right. I was just giving them some type of like I don't think you're that crazy, but maybe, maybe. Brittany Griner did say she's better if she could be Boogie Cousins. She could beat him in basketball, and it's like, so you never know what she said. She could beat him in basketball. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like there have been women like on one-on-one games that have beat
She
guys.
cannot beat him though.
No, I know that. No, I'm just saying like there have been women that played guys on one-on-one and did beat them. Like
Yeah.
I'm not refuting that.
My boy lost her girl, so
yeah,
he's nice.
Yeah, that has happened, you know. But that's more of an outlier. I don't know. To me, that's an outlier.
Of course.
I could be wrong, but to me, it's an outlier.
But we're talking about pros. We're not forget even regular humans. Professionals.
Yeah.
It's not happening. And Boogie is like 100 pounds heavier than her. So it's like, come on. There was a coach that said he would sell his house, he would sell everything he have, and he put all his money on Boogie. And it's like, of course, who wouldn't?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I admire the confidence.
Facts.
You know, I admire because as an athlete, you should have that confidence that nobody can beat me.
No, right? But come on, some of that is delusion, though. There's people that know. Come on, that's delusion.
It is. But I still respect the confidence. You're gonna get clowned, but I respect the confidence.
Yo,
that's like Mayweather saying, "Yo, I could take out Mike Tyson in his prime."
I don't think he would say that though. I don't think he's crazy like that.
That's true. That is true. That is true.
But that's what she's saying.
I was gonna go in a direction with that, but that's for another show. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. But you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right that he would never say that. You're absolutely right. I concede to that. You're right.
Yeah, we moving pretty well so far.
Yeah.
Now,
oh man.
Now you know where we're at, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Even though I disagree, can you quickly share why you believe Shannon is innocent and Skip is the one that takes personal shots?
Because, man, that back and forth that Skip and Shannon Sharpe had, it was out of pocket. Especially the fact that Shannon Sharpe himself said that him and Skip never really had that connection. Skip basically kept himself at arm's length from him. So that was a out-of-pocket statement for you to take a direct shot at him and his career on the strength of Tom Brady, a guy that you have no kind of connection with whatsoever. Like, this is the man you go to, there's the man you work with, there's the man that you're building a platform with, that all of this stuff, and you literally try to undermine his career on the strength of jealousy. And the man across from you, the way he critique critiquing Tom Brady is the way he basically critiqued everybody. As much as he's a fanboy of LeBron James, he even critiqued LeBron James when LeBron James, is not playing well.
What does he say?
Huh?
What did he say when LeBron wasn't playing well?
Like he was like, "Yo, LeBron, this guy wasn't playing defense." I think it was a shot. This was when Kyle Kuzma was playing on the team, and LeBron left somebody wide open. And when the guy hit the three, he turns around and he's looking at Kuzma like, "Yo, Kuzma, what are you doing?" And Shannon Sharpe was like, "Yo, this guy left his man wide open." And when the guy hit the shot, he's looking at Kuzma. "Nah, bro, that's you. That's on you. Yet your defense was lacking and blah, 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 blah." So, yeah, he'll get on LeBron if LeBron is not playing well. And for him to take a shot, like I said, for him to take a shot at your man's career.
A personal shot, you said, right?
A personal shot, yes. It's like, because my career was not what was on stage for the topic at hand. What was on stage was the way Tom Brady was playing right then and there. So if we're having a debate or a discussion on what this man is doing, or let's just say for the sake of argument, it's like Arnold Schwarzenegger was a great bodybuilder, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. And me and you are having a back and forth discussion about, his technique, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, well, June, you just jealous because he got a great body, better body than you, and you'll never be the weightlifter like he was or whatever. You'll never get in shape like how he does. You'll never do, like, that's a personal shot in my opinion, because it's like, what does you have to do with Arnold Schwarzenegger? We're literally talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger. As far as weight training or to be a bodybuilder, you already had your time. You did your thing. You went in the Hall of Fame, whatever, this, that, and the third. So why am I bringing up your dynamic into this conversation? And that was never a subject matter to begin with. And then to say that you're jealous, that's a personal shot in my opinion, man. Personal shot.
Okay, but if I sat there and I said Arnold's body is just ugly, like his body is terrible looking. If I said that and then you said, "Oh, it's because you jealous," that would be understandable. It's not that it's true, but you can understand that. For you to see how Arnold's body looked, and then I'm sitting there, I didn't achieve what he achieved, and I'm like, his body's just terrible. Because what Shannon said, if you remember, he said, I give him 100% of the blame. He never gave LeBron 100% of the blame. Even Skip never gave LeBron 100% of the blame. He doesn't even give Bill Belichick 100% of the blame.
Skip always give LeBron James 100% of the blame.
No, he doesn't. He'll say like 75. He'll say something high, but he never say I give him 100% of the blame.
Go ahead.
He doesn't say, well, even so, I don't recall him saying that, but you said Shannon judges the same. Shannon never gave LeBron, he never gave anybody 100% of the blame. Like, for you to give him 100% of the blame, when has Tom Brady been 100% of the problem? Like, when has that happened? That would bring into question, like, there's a reason you're saying this. I don't think he was saying it because he was jealous. I think he was saying that because he was just trying to annoy Skip. Like, him and Skipper was already having their beef. So he was trying to annoy Skip, and that's why he said it. But Skip didn't understand that they had that little beef at that time. Skip didn't understand that. And Skip said something that is true. He said, I never said you're jealous of Baker Mayfield. He never said Shannon was jealous of Baker Mayfield. Why? Because he understood there's no reason that he would have been saying what he's saying out of jealousy. So he never even brought that into question. He didn't even bring that into question with Chris Carter, that you're jealous. What he did was he brought up what was important. Chris Carter, you didn't lift people up like that. You may have lifted Randy Moss, but you weren't that type of presence. Because Skip is someone who act like he's religious. So not that he act, but he say he's religious. So when he say he's religious, he's looking at Tim Tebow like, you know what? This guy is making them believe God is on his side. And when they believe there's a an entity that's there supporting them, they're willing to go through that wall for him. So when Chris Carter's talking, he's letting him know, but you weren't lifting up your team like that. Like, that's not something you were doing. You weren't doing that. So I don't see it as personal. It's you're an athlete. I'm a writer. So I'm supposed to bring that in. That's why I want an athlete sitting across from me. He don't want another analyst sitting across from him. He doesn't really like that because it's not as, you can't even speak about your on-field opinions. So it's not as entertaining, and he can't attack those. But if they're saying, yeah, but you never played this and that, what does that have to do? Like, what does that have to do with his analysis? He doesn't have to play to say what I see is this. Shannon is the one that has to play because that's his position. The reason he's important there is because he played. That's why Skip wanted him on, is because you played the game. I want that. I want to argue with that. And Shannon understood. Unc understood. He says, I don't talk to him before the show. We don't talk. We don't do any of that. We're going to war. So it's a battle. Skip never reached the heights in his athletic career. So therefore, this is his arena. When he's debating, that's his arena. So when he's ready, he's like, yo, we're going to fight. Right now, it's no friends. After this, we're cool. That's why everybody say when he's not on the show, he's a completely different person. He's nice. He's kind. He's just very caring. But when he's debating, he's engaged. He's in Tom Brady mode, killer mode. He's like, that's why he likes Psycho Tom. He like when Michael Jordan's out here punching people because they care about their craft. So for him, it's not personal. That's why he said, I didn't take any personal shots. And it's like he believes that because he isn't taking personal shots. He's keeping it to the game. You play, you're seeing something that's outlandish. Like Tom Brady deserve 100% of the blame. It's like you're being ridiculous right now. So I don't see how that come close to being a personal shot. It was disrespectful, I think. I think that was very disrespectful. Like, Shannon is getting riled up and you're still going. Shannon is wrong because he let Skip bring it too far. Like, he let Skip get away with all of that. Like, you got to stop him before it gets too serious. And then it got too serious. He's not like that with Ocho. It's not that he gets on Ocho hard, but they like kind of go at each other where it's kind of fun. But with Skip, he let Skip demean him. And Skip kept saying, stay off social media, because what Skip was saying is it's making you soft. It's making you feel like what is happening here is personal when it's not. Because you're reading the comments and they're saying, oh, look, he's letting the white man say this to him. He's letting the white man, but a black man say, John Moran's father say something. He's ready to beat him up. Yes, it planted that seed and it's starting to grow. And it's like, yes, you're now taking it personal when it's really not personal. This is a show for ratings. Y'all both should understand that. That's why he selected you. And now you're copping feelings saying, I'm better than you. And it's like, why? It's not like that. So I can't see it at all how that's personal for those reasons. I used to dislike Skip to the max. I still he irked me. When he talked, I'm like, oh, this guy get on my nerves. But I understand he's just trying to entertain us. That's what he's doing. I think he personally likes LeBron James. He's just trying to entertain us. That's all it is.
I disagree with you.
Can you tell me how? Because you said LeBron.
The reason why I disagree with you is because if Shannon Sharpe was a quarterback and Skip said that, he could have a valid point. They play two different positions. So why in the flip would Shannon Sharpe be jealous of Tom Brady? Shannon Sharpe wasn't a quarterback.
Wait, can I ask you? Can I not be jealous of my boss's position? He's getting all the glitz and glamour when I'm the one that feel like I'm doing all the work. Don't forget, they say receivers.
You know what's wrong with your analogy? You know what's wrong with your analogy?
That is true.
No, what's wrong with your analogy is that you're still in the trenches with your boss. Shannon Sharpe did his thing. He retired. He's in the Hall of Fame, which means that he's one of the greatest to ever do it.
Okay, what does that mean? There's levels to this.
Ever do it. It may be levels to this, but why would Shannon be jealous of Tom Brady? Like, I could understand if you said Ocho Cinco or somebody was jealous of him. He's not in the Hall of Fame or anything like that. Shannon Sharpe literally has status.
Okay, he doesn't have Tom Brady
Shannon
status.
Sharpe is literally one of the people, because I don't know if how it goes with the Hall of Fame, but I don't know if the people with the gold jackets, they have a say on who comes in the Hall of Fame or not. I don't know.
They
But
used to.
okay, my thing is, again, what was the point of bringing in Shannon Sharpe's credentials into the argument if they're literally talking about a game? I do not see anything that warrants bringing in his credentials as far as saying that he's jealous of a man into the equation. Like, I
He said
literally
100% of the blame. How do you not understand that? If I said Arnold Schwarzenegger's body is completely ugly, there has to be some type of animosity that I'm holding for me to say something that ignorant. For him to say Tom Brady's 100% of the blame, there is an ignorance that he's spewing.
But why is it ignorant if that's his opinion?
Because he doesn't. Come on, all right. If you think he believes, why?
Listen, that year for the Buccaneers, with the way Tom Brady's play was, I even put the blame on Tom Brady for why the Buccaneers sucked.
You put 100% of the blame on him?
Was playing terrible.
Did you put 100% of the blame on him?
Offensively, absolutely.
Okay, you're wilding then. I get why you can't see it then. That's y'all wilding to give Tom Brady 100% of the blame.
The way he was playing, oh my gosh, man.
Like Josh Allen. Is that what you're saying? Because I'll check it. You could talk. I'll check it. I'll check it right now while you speak.
Check what?
I'm going to check how Tom Brady was playing, but you keep talking.
Yeah. Tom Brady, that last year with the Buccaneers was terrible. It was like, bruh, you need to retire. You need to retire.
So, he had 25 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. So that's not even at the ridiculous rate.
What does the eye test tell you? What was his completion percentage?
You're moving the goalpost. I'm telling you.
What was his completion percentage?
You're moving the goalpost now.
I stopped right there.
Is 67%. What he's done,
67%. Okay.
Yes, his career is 64%.
I'm not talking about career. For that year, how many completions did he have?
You asked the percentage, I gave you the percentage.
Yes, but how many completions? Like, did he have 500 completions, 300 complete? How many?
He had 490.
And what was his numbers in the other years?
The year before, 485. The year before that, 401. The year before that, 373, 375, 385. What I'm trying to say is, y'all are just trying to hate on him. So the fact that y'all saying this and it's not true, there has to be a reason y'all are saying this. So for him, it can't be for any other reason than he must be jealous because Tom Brady isn't playing as bad as you're saying. Because I just read all the things I read that he was doing better than the prior years, and it proves that it's not his fault, which proves that you're wrong, my boy. Yeah, y'all.
Okay. Hold on. Hold on.
I got you, Skip Bayless.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I got you. His touchdowns went down, but that's it.
Okay. Peep game, right?
Yes, sir. You see now you searching through the dirt.
No, because I'm literally trying to make a point because eye test matters.
Yes, but that's what you're looking for.
Listen, no. What I'm saying is, it's not what I'm looking for. It's watching the game and understanding, this ain't it. And we got the screen pulled up. We all know Westbrook on the Lakers was terrible. But if you look at his numbers,
but you're talking about Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook.
But you're talking about Westbrook.
Listen, when he was on the Lakers, his numbers and the way he played was terrible. But if you look at his stat sheet, because everybody's like, since he went to the Clippers, man, his career is resurrected and he's playing a lot better. His stat sheet is damn near equivalent from the Lakers to the Clippers. What does that tell you? The eye test tells you when you watch him play, It's not about the numbers.
Where is his turnovers
on the game?
Where are the turnovers? Because that's what mattered with Westbrook was his turnovers. It wasn't his assists. It wasn't his rebounds. It was his turnovers. He was averaging too many turnovers per game. That was the problem. Just to let you know that.
Westbrook turnover stats.
But you're bringing it to Russell Westbrook. I just showed you what you were saying about Tom Brady is not true.
But what you're missing is it's about the eye test, because you said that doesn't matter. And what I'm saying is, yes, it does matter, because if you just go strictly by stats, like there's no way you can look at a game and go by the box scores and be like, oh, this tells me everything I need about everything I need to know about the game. No, what you don't know is this team was down by 40 points. They put their bench in. The other team kept their starters in. They fought, came back, and made the score look respectable. So that's what I'm saying. You can go by stats all you want, but the eye tests matter in these games. And that's the dynamic that I believe that is being missed, because when I watch Brady play that final year, I said, yo, dude needs to retire. He don't got it.
I mean, that's what you're saying.
This is another one that we're gonna agree to disagree.
I mean, I just proved my point that y'all were wrong. And you're saying disagreeing, and it's like, nah, we can't agree to disagree. There is I showed you what you were saying was incorrect. Then you ask
this will answer your question real quick.
Okay. And when you do that,
Lakers,
also look at steals.
I am. Lakers turnovers, right? So this is turnovers and this is steal. So these two are turnovers and steal.
Okay.
When he was with the Lakers, he had less turnovers. He only had one steal. He got more steals with the Clippers. Yes, but he also had higher turnovers.
Yes, but not by one. Let me see. I got it pulled up.
He averaged more points.
Look,
he averaged more points on there, but his shooting was terrible.
He averaged more points for who?
He averaged more free throws with the Lakers. He averaged more points with the Lakers.
Okay. Was it a point more, you're saying? He didn't even average a point more.
Yeah, 2022, he averaged 18.5 points with the Clippers, 15.8.
Wait, 15.8 with the Clippers and 15.9 with the Lakers.
That was 2020.
But you're going to his first year. Why don't you go to his last year with the Lakers and go with his first year with the Clippers? Compare those two.
Yes, he still averaged more points. It wasn't by much, but he still averaged more points.
0.1.
And the only reason why his numbers went down this low, the 15.9, was because they started having him come off the bench. When you compare him starting on the Lakers and starting to the Clippers, he had more points. The turnovers were about the same. He had more steals with the Clippers. So it's like,
wait, you said the turnovers were about the same?
Yes, the turnovers were about the same.
But which one was it more on?
Which one was it more on? What, the turnovers?
Yeah.
They were even. They were 3.8 and 3.8. And they went down when he came off the bench, of course. It was 3.5, and his points went down to 15.9 as opposed to 15.2 as a starter with the Clippers.
And it still was what? 1?
Yes, but as a starter, he was averaging 3 more points per game.
Yes, but in more minutes, right?
If you're comparing starter, it was only 1 minute more, 34.3 to 33.8. That's not even one minute more.
What did LeBron say about Russell Westbrook?
What did they say?
Yes.
You
what did the players say about him?
What players say about who?
What did the players in the NBA? I'm not even going to just say LeBron. What did the players say about Russell Westbrook?
I don't know what the players said
about
him.
As much sports as you watch, you did. Yes, you have to know what they said.
No, because we all know LeBron James is never going to badmouth any of his players.
I said forget LeBron. I said the players. All the players said that he's being unjustly judged. That's what unfairly judged. That's what they said. That's what all them said. People were trying to gas it where from OKC, the same things he did in OKC, he did in LA, he did in the Clippers. It's always the same thing, but people are trying to make it seem terrible. Why? Because in LA, you have eyes on you even harder. So that's why they used to kill him for like, oh, OKC, he was great. Now on LA, he's terrible. Nah, he was the same exact man. Same exact man. Now he's on the Clippers. He still start, right? Or he don't start?
He starts.
Oh, they didn't move him to the bench yet?
No.
Okay,
he's
well,
starter. So let me ask you this. So do you think the Knicks came out when Charles Smith did the debacle under the basket? Do you think the Knicks players came out and said, "Oh, Charles Smith is the worst player"?
You're saying ever? Knicks players. I was talking about basketball players in general. I'm not just talking about his teammates.
What I'm saying is players do not outright come out and say, "Yo, this player is a cancer in the locker room," because they understand the dynamic. You're trying to get your bag. Players do not come out and trash other players like
what
that.
You're saying,
a teammate, players do not trash their teammates.
But listen, what you're saying that he's basically doing the same thing. What you're saying is what they were saying. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They were saying people's trying to make it seem like he was playing terrible, and they're like he wasn't. That's how he's always played. So whatever you're saying is what they're saying. Is they're trying to make it seem like he's playing.
But he wasn't playing that same way.
He was still the same guy.
No, he was not.
Yes, he wasn't getting the ball like that though. Did you forget that? Like they'll have him.
How was he not getting the ball if he was coming off the bench playing with the guys playing with the second unit, which is where he excels. Westbrook excels where he has a bunch of nobodies.
Not getting the ball like that. When you came off as a starter getting 20-something shots per game, and now you're getting what 15, 13, 14, 12, and you're used to getting 22, 20, and you're the guy who leads everything. You're now not leading it. Of course, your game's going to look like that.
June, if you're coming off the bench, that means that the ball is in your hands. You're the one who's orchestrating the offense.
Yes, but that wasn't how he played. He didn't play. He wasn't a bench player his career. He was a starter. Tom Brady was always a starter, always a quarterback. He was a starter and a quarterback. So his numbers were even better the last year where you were saying he's terrible. So nothing changed for him. Nothing changed for him. But for Russell Westbrook, a lot changed for him, and he was still playing the same way. It's just you're coming off.
That doesn't make sense to me. The reason why that doesn't make sense to me is because if you're a player, your whole game is based off of I need to have the ball in my hands and I need to take up most of the shots. You coming off the bench playing with the second unit is basically putting you in your element because of the
simple doesn't work like that.
You don't have to worry about okay.
No, keep going. My fault.
You don't have to worry about feeding LeBron James the ball. You don't have to worry about feeding AD the ball. You have full autonomy to run the show the way you want.
Yes, but he pulled his hamstring, right? When he came off the bench, and he said he wasn't used to that. So that's not what he's used to. And athletes are creatures of habit. What they used to, that's what they got to do. If those are the socks they wear, those are the socks they need. If you change just one thing, you give them a certain meal before they go to the game that's different from what they used to, they're going to have a terrible game and try to blame it on that meal. That's how athletes are. So if you're changing his game completely, it's like you working overnight and then they just automatically change you to a different shift. And it's like, now you got to perform the same way. You're not just going to perform the same way because you're used to a certain routine. And what you're saying is he should have been able to acclimate like that. It doesn't work like that. Not when you're used to something your entire life doing it that way, and they just changed it on you just like that.
Yeah, but that's a bad analogy. Saying
you should just say you don't get it. But it's a good analogy because that's apples to apples.
No, it's not. It's a bad analogy because you're saying if they change my shift. Of course, if I was used to working daytime and now I'm working nighttime, it's going to be a difference. The only difference is you're still playing around the same time that you're supposed to play. You're still on the same roster, and you're not switching job positions. You still literally have the same job.
But it is switching job positions. One, you're a starter. One, before you got to the game, you was warmed up because you were practicing. You were doing some certain things, getting shoot arounds before you even got to the game. You foam rolled your hamstring. You did certain things. That's why he pulled his hamstring, because they changed his routine. So what he had to start doing was, while he was waiting to get in the game, he had to stay on a bicycle. He never had to do that his whole career. So you're saying nighttime, daytime is different, but it is different for athletes if you're starting and you're not starting. The time difference matter, because my body have to be warm. That's why sometimes in football they got to wear them big coats, because they got to keep the body warm. The body doesn't just work like people think it work. It has to stay warm so you can go do your thing.
so after a year, the adjustments wasn't made.
Why should it be made after a year? He was doing that for how many years? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He was doing it for like 14 years one way, and then you just switch it on him.
So explain Jason Kidd, explain Chris Paul, explain all these players who were starters and now they come off the bench and they excel.
Now,
I understand not everybody is the same.
Okay.
But
so
if
why
you're
did you mention
if you're a quote unquote great player, you should be able to adapt with the times.
I never said he was a great player, though. So I'm not saying he's a great player. I'm saying he's an athlete. As an athlete, there are certain traditions you're used to. There's certain routines you're accustomed to. And that's just being an athlete. That's how he is as an athlete. Not everybody's like that. Lou Williams thrives off the bench. That's what he does.
Okay. But we're still going to the crux of it. The bottom line is, even though he changed positions and the numbers were comparable, his play still suffered. So in Tom Brady's case, the numbers were comparable, but in my opinion, his play still suffered.
But do you understand something? Do you understand? You were asking me for certain things with Tom Brady. You were like, okay, what is his
No, I know that. I know that.
Let me tell you, you were asking for it, and when you got what you didn't want to hear, then it's like, oh, that doesn't matter. My eyes was telling me different. And it was like, nah, your eyes was lying to you. That's what your eyes was doing. It was lying to you.
But I've been consistent. What do you think I did with Josh Allen? What do you think I did with Josh Allen? With the numbers say XYZ. You're like, he throws 50% of this, but I'm saying my eye tests tell me he's a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. So I've been consistent across the board with that.
How though? What do you mean what do you mean consistent with that? How are you comparing that?
How am I comparing that? Because we went through their stats. We went through Dak Prescott's stats, and we also went through Josh Allen's stats.
Okay.
And in your eyes, Dak Prescott's stats were better. And
it's not my eyes. I'm saying my math, and math isn't something you can just change. Math is an absolute thing. You can't tell me 2 + 2 = 10. You can't tell me that.
Math is an absolute thing, but the way you're saying your math was, you're making it seem like every year in and year out, he's gonna throw 50%. No, what am I saying? If he's gonna throw 30-something TDs, he's also gonna throw half the amount of interceptions, and that's not the case. And just because he's doing it this year, you're saying, oh, well, this year, he's doing this or whatever, this, that, and the third. But I'm like, but that's not what his history say. But then you turn around and say, oh, Dak Prescott was throwing interceptions, but his history doesn't say this. How come I can say the history doesn't say this, but you can make a argument saying, well, his history doesn't say that for Dak Prescott?
Because the year you tried to get on him, Dak Prescott, was the year he was coming off of injury, snapping his leg.
But what I'm saying is, when we looked at the numbers prior to that, he still was throwing double-digit INTs.
Nothing compared to Josh Allen, though. That's what I want you to understand. Those years where he's having 4 interceptions, like when he's doing things like that, it shows you he's not a Josh Allen.
That was 1 year he did that. That was literally his first year was when he threw 4 interceptions. The only other time he threw single digit, like 4 or 5 interceptions was the year he only played a couple of games and it was 9 touchdowns and 4 interceptions or some shenanigan like that.
Don't worry.
But his history, he's been throwing double-digit interceptions. The only other year he didn't was when he had 8.
He 4 and 4, and he had the 8. So, and then 10, 11, 13. So what I'm saying is,
I know that,
but that averaged out to 10 per game, right? That's what it averaged out to. So from the beginning, I said 10 per game. When you said 70, I said it's 10 per game, even though you said 70 out of 8, which would have been under it. And I still said, okay, 10 per year. Josh Allen isn't 10 per year. He's not.
I understand that. But if you're telling me he's going to throw 70 interceptions with 130 touchdown passes, whereas Josh Allen has 68 interceptions and 150 or 160 touchdown passes, that's a higher ceiling because I know I'm going to get a greater reward for the throws.
I mean, and I know I'm going to lose the game most likely because of Josh Allen.
But I also know if I'm in a game where I need to throw up at least 20 or 30 points, I can count on Josh Allen to achieve that as opposed to Dak Prescott, who can't even put up 17 points in the game.
I mean, I would definitely disagree because I remember who did they play where it was 40-0? That wasn't y'all, was it?
That was the Giants, and that was the defense that put up the points.
So he didn't score that game, you're saying?
The offense only literally put up about 7 or 10 points for that game. The defense scored the points. There's a reason why in the red zone they score more field goals than freaking touchdowns. They can't put it in the end zone.
Well, against the Rams, he did get 4 touchdowns though. So
yes, that was the Rams. That was the Rams. But if you look at all the other games, they're kicking field goals and the defense is putting up points for them.
So against Philly, they were kicking field goals because I think yesterday he had 3 touchdowns also, 0 interceptions.
That was just the Rams and the Philly game is the best game that he had this season. Other than that, they weren't.
The 2 last games was his best game.
What I'm telling you is prior to that, they were not putting up any offensive points really.
Okay.
That's what they were doing. They were not putting. That's why everybody was saying, "Yo, if the defense can't give you a lead, or whatever, and you got to play from behind, that's where Dak has problems because he's either gonna throw turnovers or fumble and lose you the game."
Do you look are you looking at what Josh Allen does? Because I'm looking at it. Josh Allen this year, he did nothing. He wasn't doing anything. If he throws 2 touchdowns, he also throw an interception. So he was pretty much, you're throwing touchdowns, but you're also negating all of that by throwing those interceptions. There was only 2 games where he didn't throw an interception. Just 2 games.
But who threw more touchdowns?
Not the person that threw most interceptions. I'll tell you that.
So what you're telling me is Dak Prescott threw more touchdowns than Josh Allen this year.
No, I'm saying the one that threw the most touchdowns was the one that threw the most interceptions. Yes.
Okay. How many? Okay. Let me see. Because if I'm looking at the points that the Bills scored offensively as opposed to the points Dallas scored offensively, the Bills trumped them.
How?
How if the Bills scored more points offensively?
You're saying 1 more touchdown because what is it? He threw 5 interceptions, right? Dak, and he had 13, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, right? He had 13 touchdowns and he had 5 picks. So that's 8 touchdowns. And your guy had 9 touchdowns.
But here's the thing. The thing. Other than the Rams game? Other than the games that they won, the Giants, the Rams, a lot of these games that they won, they took the lead and ran away with it, right?
Who?
The Cowboys. So if the defense basically stopped the offense from doing anything and they're getting points on turnovers, right? Why does Dak Prescott have to take risks to try and get the ball in the end zone? Why does he have to even attempt to put the ball in harm's way? Needless to say,
now you're bringing it to defense.
No, I'm not bringing it to defense. What I'm saying is, the more you're playing from behind, the more you're going to put the ball at risk. Exactly. So how many games did Dak Prescott have to take risks where he had to show that I'm going to win this game with my arm and succeeded? That makes a difference. So if you have a comfortable lead because your defense is playing outstanding, of course you don't got to throw the ball as much. Of course you don't got to put it in the hallway.
So wait, you just said you weren't putting on the defense? You just saying you weren't giving it to defense, and that's what you're saying?
No, what your defense? The defense do play a major role in it because you're not it's because of the simple fact that if you're playing from ahead, you don't have to do much to put the ball in harm's way. But if you're behind and you have to put the ball in harm's way, I'm taking Josh Allen over Dak Prescott any day of the week.
I mean, the Buccaneers went home because of Dak Prescott. He was behind, and he threw that touchdown in the end zone when he hurt his calf to win the game. So I seen him win a game when he was behind, and it was no time remaining. And I also seen Josh Allen lose a game like that. So I seen him lose games where he's throwing interceptions recklessly all the time. He's known as that. That's what he's known as.
And Dak Prescott isn't? That's
where we went to the history, because it was last year he was known for that. That's why Michael Irvin was saying Dak Prescott isn't known for that.
No, that's not what I'm saying. So what you're saying is Dak Prescott is known for comeback wins?
I'm not saying he's known for comeback plays. I'm saying he's done that, because you're saying that's what Josh Allen does.
Yes,
he's done that comeback play.
Yes, but does that make that an outlier for Dak? If for his career he wasn't able to achieve this, which is why they get knocked out of the playoffs.
He wasn't able to achieve what?
What I'm saying is, does that make that an outlier for Dak Prescott, which is why they can't progress further into the playoffs?
No.
See, the only time he did it was against the Buccaneers, and then one other time.
That's not the only time.
He only won 2 playoff games. That's it.
But you're saying the only time he won from behind is against. That's not the only time he won from behind. I'm not saying that's the only time he won a playoff game. Like, maybe that's what you're saying. That's the only time he won a playoff game. That's not what I was talking about.
Because for me, it's when it matters. I'm talking about in the playoff games.
And how many times have Josh Allen went to the playoffs?
Every year, except for his first year, I believe.
Won a game in the playoffs, I should say. Like, how many playoff games has he won? That's
how many playoff games Josh Allen won? Josh Allen has a playoff record of 4 wins and 4 losses. His first playoff appearance came in 2019, when the Bills faced the Texans in the wild card. How many? Yes. And let me see.
And how many did he win that year? Like, how many playoff games did he win, though? Because if he won 3 in 1 year,
he won 4.
But it wasn't in 4 different years, right?
Wait a minute. How far did Josh Allen go in the playoffs? So in 2000, last year he made it to the AFC divisional. So he made it both. He made it to the wild card, AFC divisional, wild card AFC divisional. So that's
that
the
takes what, 2
playoffs.
games? That takes 2 games?
That's the playoff, and that's the playoff in 3 years. Wait, more rows. Sorry. Okay. So in 2000, let me see, 1, 2. So he lost to Houston in 2020. Then he beat Indiana in 2021. Then the next round, the AFC divisional game, he beat Baltimore. So he won 2 games in the playoffs in 2021, but then lost to Kansas City. And then 2022, he beat New England, but then lost to Kansas City. And then 2023, he beat Miami and lost to Cincinnati.
Do you hear
4-4.
Do you hear who he was beating though? Since you want to talk about defense, did you hear who he was beating? He beat New England.
Yeah, he beat New England. He also beat Baltimore. He also beat the Colts.
And wasn't Lamar? I may be wrong. I thought Lamar Jackson got hurt that game. He beat him. But hey, I may be incorrect.
No, Lamar Jackson played.
I said I could have sworn he got hurt.
Yeah. No, Lamar Jackson played.
I didn't say he didn't play. I said I could have sworn he got hurt. I could have sworn he got hurt that game. Do you know this? We're here right now because Shannon Sharpe said Tom Brady deserved 100% of the blame.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. We went on a tangent, but where I'm at, I blame Tom Brady for I blame Tom Brady for Baltimore's I said Baltimore.
Buccaneers.
I blame Tom Brady for the Buccaneers' woes that last year. I blame him for it. And I still think Skip took a personal shot at Shannon Sharpe.
Some people won't admit anything, man.
Nah. Like you didn't make a convincing argument to compel me to have a change of heart.
What you said, what you said, I proved wasn't true. You said Shannon Sharpe judged everybody the same. He never gave LeBron James.
Oh no.
The blame.
No.
So we can't.
He never.
That.
Yeah, you're right. He never.
That. We can't.
You're right.
That.
He never gave. You're right. He never blamed LeBron James 100%. 100% gave LeBron James 100% of the blame. I agree with you on that. I concede to that. But
how can we leave that and then go somewhere else when that is a major crux of the argument? Where that's why Skip got on him, because he gave him 100% of the blame. And it was like you doing something you never do. Even when LeBron may miss free throws, he still won't give LeBron 100% of the blame. And he gave Tom Brady 100% of the blame. Come on.
And you're thinking it's because he was hating on him because he didn't achieve what Tom Brady does.
No, I told you why. You weren't listening because you're trying to defend yourself. He was doing that because he was trying to get at Shannon Sharpe. I even have videos, like there's videos we have where
that's not what I was asking. What I was asking is, so you're saying Shannon Sharpe gave Tom Brady 100% of the blame because he was hating on him? That's what I was saying.
And I answered that because I was saying you weren't listening, because that's not what I said. What I said was the reason he did that was because he had issues with Skip, but Skip didn't realize they had those issues. So Skip's trying to think, why would he give him 100% of the blame? And that's why he went towards the jealousy. Shannon said that because he was having issues with Skip. That's why he said that. He was trying to get at Skip because he know that Skip's boo. So he's like, if I'm not going to disrespect Skip on the air, so I'm going to disrespect his boo. And you know people do that. I may not come at you, but I'm going to come at something I know you care about just because I got to keep it professional. That's just being passive aggressive. And that's what Shannon was doing. He was being passive aggressive. I don't believe he was jealous. I think he likes Tom Brady. I think Skip was making him hate Tom Brady. I like Tom Brady. I used to hate him because I'm a Denver fan, but I started liking him. It's Skip Bayless that was making me dislike him because Skip made it seem like he could do no wrong. And I'm like, are you crazy? I'm like, this guy can do wrong.
I could agree with you on that. But I still think that Skip took a personal shot at him. I still think he took a personal shot at him.
Like, I feel you.
I still think so. So, yes, I can give you that. Your explanation The way you broke it down, I can give you that 100%. You got that, yes. But I still think Skip was a scumbag for taking the personal shot. And I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it 100.
All right.
It may be because I'm biased towards Shannon Sharpe, so that could also play a role in it.
But that's how I was feeling the whole time. I was biased for him. I'm like, nah. And I was on Shannon's side. But then I'm like, you know what? Let me try to see it clearly. I'm like, let me take myself out of this. And that's the only reason I started looking at it a little different. I'm on Shannon's side because don't forget, that was my tight end. That was my tight end who won 2 Super Bowls for me. 2.
But here's the thing. The reason why I say Skip took a personal shot is because I know me, I wouldn't go in that angle. Because for me, I feel like I'm taking a personal shot at you if I do that. So that's why and for me, I'm like, nah, you took a personal shot. So that's how I'm viewing it.
But if you had said it, that would have been a personal shot because of who you are. But what I'm saying is this is Skip's life. Debating is what he's gonna pull any card. Like that's what he's gonna, and it's not, I'm trying to be personal. It's I'm trying to. This is a debate show. So I get it. With me, that's why I don't really like debate shows too much, just because it can get too hot. First Take allow that. Remember when what they call his name? JJ Redick. When JJ Redick was on First Take and he would just be coming at Stephen A. Yo, there was points where I started feeling a little uncomfortable watching it because he was
because they was disrespectful with it though. They was like this, because like even if me and you debate, we know like it's strictly gonna be debating on the top. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, they was out of pocket sometimes.
But Stephen A was allowing it because he understood it's good for the show. So because it's good for the show, let's just do it. Whatever you're gonna come at me, I like it just because it's going to get my ratings up. And what is First Take? First Take is #1 because of that. And that's why Undisputed isn't, because Undisputed Skip don't want anybody doing too much. Like he don't want anybody trying to come at him like that. He gets all sensitive and his shell. And it's like, no, you got to allow that because that's going to make the show more interesting. Because there's things we want to say to you. If somebody can go on that show and say it to you, we're going to feel like they're speaking for us. And it's going to be like, yeah, you tell him. And it's like, he doesn't allow that. He gets all scared and sensitive. And like, you crossed the line. And it's like, come on, bro, just calm down. This is like.
Look, I already know you're going to take a personal shot at me because you're going to make a short and make me look like a flaming idiot. So.
Well, no. Don't forget last week. Listen, don't forget last week. I made myself look. You gotta post that video. I sounded mad dumb with the Dame Lillard comment. Don't forget that video.
Which was never made into a short, by the way.
No,
but anyway,
I said cut it up.
I'm messing with you, man. I'm messing with you. Look, it all comes with the territory.
But this is for entertainment. This isn't anything. I know. Yeah.
Now let me say, we'll parlay after the live goes off. After the live goes off. Yeah. But yeah, man. But this was definitely a good debate. We put in some overtime today, man.
We did.
Yeah. I lost track of time. I know that's my fault.
That's good.
But, you know what I mean? So, but it is what it is. Ooh. I hope you ladies and gentlemen were entertained. Were you not entertained?
We have Erica Pierre was commenting. We were so into it. I didn't even have my screen up.
I know, right? The point of bringing in his credentials was to throw a jab at Shannon. Tom Brady gets 100% because he is the quarterback, so he is playing terrible. He should set himself down and let somebody else meet via attempt if they were going to do better. That is true. The quarterback do take 100% of the blame because any other team, when the team is doing bad, the quarterback always say, yo, this is on me.
The quarterback says that, but the quarterback's allowed to say that.
No, but the analysts put it on the quarterback too because they're like, yo, if you're the quarterback,
yes.
When? They always say
maybe Eli, they'll put it all on him because Eli sometimes would be wilding
out. Just recently, I think on First Take when they was talking about what game was that?
Josh Allen?
It might have been Josh Allen. It might have been, but it was a game that went down, and it was like, yo, matter of fact, it was Dak Prescott, because they was like, yo, what do we say? If you lose, even though he put him in a position to win and he ran out of bounds, whatever, as the leader, you take the blame. That's the role of the quarterback.
So you would give him 100% of the blame? Dak Prescott for yesterday's game? 100%.
No,
Okay.
I wouldn't give him 100%, but heavy lies the crown. That's the way that's the standard that it's set. It's like, yo, you're the head of the team. So it's like, if your house, in your household, if something goes wrong, that's on you.
Yes.
June, you're responsible because you're the head of the table. So it's not any different. Yes, I can say, no, nah, June didn't take 100% of the blame, but no, as the leader, you have to take the full responsibility for it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I hear you.
That's I agree. We agree to disagree. That's what that is right there.
No. I agree to an extent.
Got you. Well, I guess we wrap this up. Oh, we got another topic.
Nah, that's it. We was going to take call-ins, but since it's not much going on, we won't take it today. We went over.
Yes. Well, sign us out, brother. Sign us out.
Well,
or do you want me to sign us out?
You normally sign out. You the sign out thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning into this live edition of Don't Call It Locker Room Talk.
Hey, that's that locker room talk right there.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard my talk. You heard June's talk. We was hoping to hear everybody else's talk, but at the end of the day, don't call it locker room talk. Join us here every Monday at 9 p.m. where we have these sports conversations, these debate. Hey, we don't know where it's going to go, but at the end of the day, we are going to be talking sports, all the hot news that happens during the week, the games that took place during the playoffs, and we will definitely keep you updated with the NBA play-in tournament. With that being said, I'm your boy Walls P. That's my co-host June, and we will catch you, ladies and gentlemen, on the next one. Peace.